Hello, it's me, Ayahuasca from Marijuana Garden.
This is going to sound crazy, but from the moment I first set eyes on you, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. Lee Fallon, carrier of the mark love at first sight, is not easy to explain. Some people even deny that it is possible, claiming it is merely sexual attraction. Indeed, how can we fall profoundly in love after one quick glance? How can such a glance make us believe that we want to spend the rest of our life in the arms of a stranger we have just seen for the first time? History is filled with examples of lovers who claim to have fallen in love at first sight. It might even have happened to you, seeing a mysterious, magnetic stranger across the room. You feel irresistibly drawn to that person. You might even be compelled to start a conversation that lasts all night. By morning, you are certain you have found your soulmate. Or perhaps you fail to seize the moment, and your mysterious stranger disappears into the crowd, lost to you forever. Yet you cannot get this person, whose name you do not know, out of your mind. Clearly, falling in love at first sight is not all that uncommon. But what exactly is going on? Can you really fall in love with someone you have never met? Or are there other forces at work instead? Here we will break down the science of love. The answer to why love happens is pinned on evolution and the primordial need to reproduce. Reproduction is the ultimate mode of survival. Survival entails that not only reproduction happens, but the offspring is tended to until it is ready to survive on its own. While sexual chemistry helps with reproduction, the feeling of love and commitment helps in the optimal raising and nurturing of the offspring. Scientists have already conducted several experiments to test this hypothesis. They have observed and conducted experiments on mammals like the prairie vole, which is known to form monogamous relationships. Apparently, they bond for life after a mating process that lasts for 24 hours. After conducting experiments on prairie vole and other monogamous mammals, which form 3% of the mammal population, scientists concluded that monogamous relationships, or even love at first sight for such mammals, is related to the reward center of the brain. This is the part of the brain that urges these mammals to keep doing pleasurable things. In 2000, to prove that humans might have inherited this love circuitry from mammals, scientists went a step further. Andreas Bartels and Semir Zeki of University College, London, took students who were supposedly madly in love and subjected them to MRI scans while projecting the images of their loved ones. The objective was to find active areas of the brain of a person in love. The results revealed that the areas of the brain of people in love that were active were different compared to people in an ordinary relationship. These areas were different from the portions of brain that respond to strong emotions like rage or fear. On the contrary, these areas were responsible for gut feelings and euphoria induced by drugs. Further researches have shown that when a person falls in love, chemicals are released that trigger feelings of euphoria, bonding and excitement. These include dopamine, oxytocin, adrenaline, and vasopressin. The receptors of these hormones lie in the reward center of the brain. Passionate love is in essence an addiction of sorts. It is product of the reward center of the brain. This is the same area that responds strongly to addiction, which involves cravings, motivations and withdrawals similar to those present in love. Passionate love seems to be at its most intense during the start of a relationship and then morphs into a calmer attachment. Both of these stages are associated with the reward center of the brain. So basically, a person can become chemically rewarding to the other. Love at first sight might happen when people are able to decide within a fraction of a second how attractive they find another person. This can be a subjective decision brought about by physical and behavioral cues. The process of this decision is specific to the person and not easily understood. There have been other interesting findings. For example, men tend to fall in love faster than women do. This is because men's love circuitry tends to be triggered faster by visual cues. This is also why pornography is more popular among men than women. The other finding was that, contrary to popular belief, love, lust, and commitment involve very different brain networks. So theoretically, one can feel the euphoric feeling of love towards one person, harbor feelings of strong commitment towards a second person, and have an intense sexual chemistry with a third person. This possibility of feeling love, lust and commitment towards different people gives rise to conflict in relationships and marriages. One finding in particular answers the most pertinent of all questions. Can love at first sight last? The answer seems to be yes. A test was conducted on couples who had recently found love and on a couple who fell in love at first sight 20 years ago. The MRI scans revealed that the same region was active in both of these cases. This region was again the reward center, which acknowledges pleasurable activities and urges us to repeat it. However, there were other old couples for whom this area was not active. So even if love at first sight doesn't last, such experiences may keep on repeating with different people, owing to its exhilarating effect. That being said, we don't seek love at first sight consciously. It happens with any person that offers us a strong prospect of long-term chemistry and enjoyment. The element of surprise of stumbling upon such a person adds to the intoxication, which, at least according to science, drives this phenomenon of love at first sight. It seems as though this love at first sight is an addiction that can last a lifetime, provided it continues to pleasure and stimulate us. Sometimes it morphs into a calm, comfortable feeling of familiarity. At other times it just dissipates after the initial surge of ecstasy and jubilation. As of now, it is unclear what exactly makes it behave the way it does, why it grips us at the oddest hours, why it leaves us longing for more, and why it turns us into the most daring adventurers. No matter what science uncovers, it seems improbable that one can predict love and the time and place of its spectacle. It is either random or is intricately orchestrated. Regardless of the process, we all have the capacity to love at first sight. The love circuitry is hardwired in us. It lies dormant, waiting for the time when love chooses us.